I'm flying high, but I got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else but you. You caught my eye, and I got a feeling I'm falling. Show me the ring and I'll jump right through. I used to. I'm flying high, but I got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else but you. feeling I'm falling for nobody else but you. I'm flying high, but show me the ring and I'm bright. Show me the ring and I'm bright. Show me the ring and I'm bright through. I usually through. I usually through. I usually through. I usually.
Have you ever felt? Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Alexa. All right, check, check, check. Let's get this started. So let me set this up. Fairly new to live YouTube. All right, so in this live session, we're going to be talking about print on demand and more specifically about merch by Amazon. So I know, Bill, you're out there. If my audio is good, just let me know so we can continue. We have a special guest for today, and he's going to be talking about, he knows a lot about print on demand. So we're going to try to pick his brain and get, that knowledge and information that we need to be successful. So let me just set things up and then we can begin. All right, so I'll just start and kind of explain what print on demand is if you guys don't know. And it's basically a method of selling products where you actually don't have to keep inventory. So you don't have to buy all this kind of products and then hope that someone's gonna purchase it for you. So what print on demand does with the facilitating with the help of other companies is you can create these products, and if they sell, then they create it for you. So you don't have to spend money up front to get these products. I'm going to try to get this mic to just stay still. All right, let's just keep it there. All right, so I'm just going to show what Merch by Amazon has done for me financially. I started roughly about 2 years ago with Merch. I didn't really take it serious at first, and as the money started rolling in, I actually put more effort into it. So I'll have a look at how my earnings were. Let's see if I can share this. So I hope you guys could see this right now. And when I started, I probably started uploading designs in November 2015. And then I got, I guess, a payment in, or maybe I started in December. I'm not quite sure. I started either November, December. Luckily, I applied when they didn't have the invite thing. So you can just sign up and you're ready to go. So right about here, I guess in the summer is when I realized I have to take this more seriously. Once I was closing into that $1,000 a month. And my biggest payout of all time was in December of 2016, which was $4,500. Now from there, it's been a pretty roller coaster ride up and down. And actually, I've been pretty much going down the past 4 months or so. So it has been really amazing the past 4 months, but it's not too bad at all. So let's go back to the live. So as you could see, it did take me quite some time to get the ball rolling. And as I progressed and I worked on it more, I saw definitely the income increase. But in the past few months, weeks, there's been a lot of problems with Merch by Amazon. And my main issue of everything is sometimes the links aren't working. So you could be advertising something, and the links sometimes don't work or they're out of stock. So there's all these issues with it. And there's a lot of, people have been talking about being frustrated, especially if you're running ads. I heard some people running ads and having, the 404 missing page. So you have a dog image saying that either the listing is not there or something like that. So it is quite frustrating, having this happen to you when you're working really hard, creating more designs, and not really seeing the Amazon stuff is up to par. Like, not everything is good because your products aren't listing, your products aren't shown, and when you search for them, you can't find them. So in the past few months, definitely been seeing a decrease in sales, not making as much money, but I have been expanding on other platforms. And this is what we're going to be also talking about quite soon. So I have been expanding on Etsy, Redbubble, and all these other things. So I kind of making up with these other incomes what I haven't been doing recently. But I'm very optimistic with merch and print on demand, but it will take a lot of work. A lot of people, or some people, think it's quite easy when it really isn't. It does take quite some time of work, research, especially researching. And the main thing people definitely miss out, and sometimes I don't take it as serious, is looking for trademark infringements. So if you're infringing on someone's trademark or copyright, so that's where a lot of people get banned. They don't know why their account got suspended and stuff like this. So, there are some problems with merch, but overall, very optimistic with this platform. Now, if you are new and you haven't heard of Merch by Amazon, well, I suggest for you to sign up. Now, before you sign up, make sure, because Amazon will ask you, why do you want to sign up? Why do you want to be part of Merch by Amazon? And you have to have a reasoning. You can't just be like, I want to make money and I'm ready to go. No, they want I think they want someone that has either a following, already has designs up, already has a portfolio. Now, if you just fill out your name and some basic info, I don't think you'll have that much success getting accepted quickly. Now, the people that usually get accepted quickly are either already doing FBA or already selling on other platforms. And I do notice that these people do get accepted a lot quicker. So before you apply to Merch by Amazon, try to build a little portfolio, show that you have some following, show you have some interest, that you're either, have a Pinterest account that's pretty good. So that would be something, I would suggest before signing up and applying. Now, we have a special guest today. It's Jacob Topping, and he has some really cool news to share with us today. And we'll try to get him online. We got him in the chat. What's up, Jacob? So want to try to get you in here, and then we can talk about merch and some of these other print-on-demand companies that, people are always talking about. So I have a few people out there. We have the Topping family in the chat room. What's up? What's up? Jacob, just waiting for you to come join. I think I did send you the link, and we'll be on our way and talking about making money selling print-on-demand products. And if you guys have any questions, definitely, put it in the comments area, and I'll try to help you out. Like, I don't know everything. I am not an expert. I am not a guru, but this actually helped me quit my job and be able to work online from home. So very passionate about Merch by Amazon, and very grateful for this platform that we have. So another thing I wanted to share is what has been working for me. And what has been working for me that I can see that I might be doing something different opposed to other people is building Facebook pages and kind of building a brand. I do notice that my Facebook page, in the niche I'm in, I do pretty well when I post stuff, and I do get conversions because I'll take let's take St. Patrick's Day as an example. I made quite a good amount of St. Patrick's Day designs, and a lot of them did not sell. So, I'm sure there's thousands and thousands. It's a very competitive niche. A lot of people do buy T-shirts on St. Patrick's Day, so I knew it's possible to get a sale. I had a few sales here and there, nothing significant. But I did see good results working with my brand. So with my Facebook page, I would, like, a couple of weeks before St. Patrick's Day, I started uploading designs there, and I started seeing sales from the same T-shirts I was promoting. I was seeing sales on my Merch by Amazon. So I could see that this works. And then I've been pretty much doing that with the St. Patrick's Day designs, and not just selling those St. Patrick's Day designs, but I was also selling other of those T-shirts in that same niche. So it is a good way to go around doing this, is try to build a Facebook page. Now, I wouldn't necessarily build a Facebook page that's just T-shirts. So don't build a Facebook page that says Cool Mom T-shirts and just put T-shirts, T-shirts, T-shirts. You'll want to build something like Awesome Cooking Mom page, and then put some recipes there, something related to your niche, and then once in a while you can put a T-shirt up there that's related to your niche, and I think you'll be more successful than just going out there and just posting T-shirts. You want people to go to your page because you have useful information funny memes, funny gifs, and have maybe some kind of conversation with that audience, and then you can promote some of those t-shirts. And I think that works. So that's something, if you are not doing and if you're not seeing any sales, you can kind of do. And it's a good idea to do something that you're passionate about, so in a way it doesn't necessarily feel like work. But I also do think it's a good idea to go to trending topics. Let's say like something like slime or fidget spinners. So if you have a Facebook page, Facebook group related about slime, and you can get a lot of people in there, and then after you can target it with your ads or your t-shirts, I think you could be a bit successful there if it's something you haven't tried. So let's go see on the comments area. Click the link, send me. I'm in the hangout. I'm not sure it's the same as. Okay, so I'm going to try to invite Jacob so he can join us. Bill's saying, I have been thinking about using someone on Fiverr to my ads targeting so I can concentrate on designing only. I've really been thinking about doing that as well, Bill. Trying to find someone in Fiverr that can do some marketing for me. Okay, so just hold on right here. I'm going to try to get Jacob online, try to figure this out. Hey, Jacob, can you send me your email address? Maybe I can email you the link. All right, so we're just going to try to get Jacob on board here. This is pretty new to YouTube Live, and trying to even get a guest on board. Okay, so we got his email. Let me see if I can send him the invite now. Sorry, guys. Oh, I have a pending invite. Okay, let's see. How do you work this thing? All right, Jacob.
Hey, Daniel, what's up?
Not much. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you. I got this working.
It's crazy when people can have like live videos, right?
Yeah, like I've definitely been seeing a lot more people doing this live thing and on Facebook, on everything. So I've definitely caught my interest and, try to learn how to do it. And then, yeah. But how you been?
Good. I'm just going to get out of the live broadcast so I don't have, okay, there. So I've got sound coming in from the chat and from the live video.
Chat and live video, okay.
Yeah, that's okay. So, perfect. I can see you. You can see me. I'm going to assume that it's live.
Yeah, I can definitely see you.
Perfect.
So we're good to go. So what I really wanted to talk about mostly is merch and then other print-on-demand platforms. Now, if you can introduce yourself a little bit, a brief thing, and then we can start talking about print-on-demand. And I know you have some news to tell us as well.
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Jacob Topping. I'm in Canada, same as Daniel. You're in Canada as well.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Merch by Amazon is you can join from anywhere in the world. So you can be in the US, you can be in Canada, you can be anywhere, any country in the world. Even if Amazon doesn't have direct payments, you can even receive payments to just about any country in the world. We can talk about that later if you want.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. So what else? I'm married to Tara. Tara's my wife. I've got 3 kids. I live about an hour west of Ottawa. recently I've been doing contract work for the federal government, so I'm not allowed to say what it's about, but it's for the federal government in Ottawa. And because of print on demand and merch by Amazon also, I've stopped taking on new contracts. So I'm doing print on demand full time now. And right now I'm on 21 different platforms. So merch by Amazon, you know, like Redbubble, Zazzle, SUNFROG, TEEPUBLIC, T-Chip, like multiple platforms that you can do print on demand on. So that's kind of probably the thing that a lot of people ask me about is what's it like on different platforms. I also sell on Amazon FBA, both in Canada and the US. So I'm doing FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon, on Amazon.ca and Amazon.com. And yeah, that's pretty much about me. I don't know if there's other things you want me to talk about.
You are definitely busy, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty busy.
Because I think I'm doing half of the things you're doing, and I can't find enough time in the day to like do it right in a way for me.
Yeah, it's tough doing lots of things. What I do is I try and outsource things, and that frees up more time where I can do other things. So, for example, for the designing, I'm probably not the best designer. I can do some designs. I've been using Photoshop for more than 20 years, but I wouldn't say that I'm the best, most proficient designer at it. Using something for a long time doesn't mean that necessarily you're really great at it, right?
Yeah, that's true. Now, would you say merch by Amazon is the best platform to get onto compared to most of the stuff that's out there, or would you say there's something better?
So I think it depends on the approach that you're taking to it and what you're looking to get out of sort of the experience. So if you're looking for purely organic traffic, merch by Amazon at the moment still has probably the best ratio of number of buyers versus the number of sellers and amount of designs. So in terms of organic traffic, merch by Amazon, if people aren't familiar with it already, when you upload a design into merch by Amazon, the program, once it gets approved and the listing is made, those listings go right into regular Amazon.com. And so it's not like a special separate category that you have to hunt and find for. If you're on Amazon.com and you do a search for like a shirt, there's a good probability a lot of the shirts you're seeing are part of merch by Amazon. Some of them could also just be on regular Amazon Marketplace, which is accessed through Seller Central, and that's sort of separate. But they come up at the same time. So you have access to any of the shoppers that are using Amazon.com. And you know, as people know, probably about almost half of the e-commerce in the US is coming from Amazon.com. So you get access to all of those buyers. And in terms of the number of sellers on merch by Amazon, it's relatively small compared to the number of buyers. So for purely organic traffic with no marketing, merch by Amazon is definitely sort of the biggest opportunity at the moment, I would think.
And what I also like about merch by Amazon is I believe you don't necessarily have to be talented designer, or you don't have to be a talented marketer. You can lie in the middle, or you can have no experience at all and kind of learn along the way. I think it's one of the easier ones, like where you can make a very simple text design that almost anybody could do, you know, spending a day trying to figure out how to use the software, and then you can have it up online and actually see a sale. When I look at some of the other platforms, you could spend even a bit more time, and you don't see the same results as you do see with merch by Amazon. For either with someone that's really good at designing or someone that's really good at marketing, I think you can go wiggle around and work your way through it in merch, right?
Sort of, yeah. So I would say there's two parts to that. One is what's the barrier of entry to getting into the platform? So once you're on merch by Amazon, to upload a design, it's very simple and it's relatively quick for each individual design. So, you know, I think there's like 4 screens. You upload the design, you choose what kind of things you want it on, you put in the colors and the price and then the description, and then you upload it. So that's kind of the steps on merch by Amazon. Some of the other print-on-demand platforms, some of them have more screens and some of them have less screens. And less doesn't mean necessarily faster. Like, for example, Redbubble, there's just one screen. You upload, and then you put in all the descriptions and everything and the color, and you choose things. You put it on multiple items, and then you upload it right from one screen. But it takes longer than merch by Amazon because you're getting put onto like almost 60 items, right? So one upload of one design gets you on 60 different items simultaneously in one upload. Whereas with Merch by Amazon, if you wanted to get on the items they have available, so they've got the standard t-shirt, premium t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt, the sweatshirt, and the hoodies. And each one of those, you have to go through all 4 screens on Merch by Amazon. So if you wanted to upload to all 5 items, let's say even if it's one design, you'll have to upload that one design 5 times. You'll have to go through 5 times the description, 5 times the brand, 5 times the price. You have to do everything 5 times. With something like Redbubble, you upload the design once, and the one listing does take a little bit longer because you're putting on items. But a single upload gets you onto 60 items, on one platform. And then there's other platforms that have APIs. So Zazzle, Cafe Press, and others have APIs, which allows you to do it faster. So you can actually connect computer software to upload your designs even faster. And we're going to hear a lot more about that in the next week to a few weeks from now. And I talk about that in my book as well. I don't know if you want me to talk about the book on the call or not. I'm not sure.
Well, let's leave that to the end. I want to give as much value to begin with, and then at the end we can kind of talk about the book.
Sure.
So you are mostly outsourcing everything, correct? Besides the uploading?
Yeah, so for Merch by Amazon and most of the print-on-demand platforms that I'm on, currently I'm doing most of the uploading for those. And I outsource most of the designs. Sometimes I'll do a design on my mobile phone. Rarely I'll do it on my computer now. I used to do more on Photoshop and Affinity Designer as well. But right now I'm outsourcing almost all of them simply because it's a lot faster and it's not very expensive when you look at the number of designs you get. So for me, I use Design Pickle. It's an unlimited design service. So you put in your requests each day, and you can put in more than one request. You could load in like 20 requests if you want. And then they'll go through and they'll create all of those designs custom based on your request over time. So right now I'm getting somewhere between 12 and 36 designs a day from them, and they do it 5 days a week. So today's Sunday, I wouldn't get any designs from them today on the weekends.
Okay. Well, I'm mostly doing the designs myself. I did try to outsource, but I was just having bad luck. I started first at Fiverr, and the designs were just terrible, and some of them were just plain rip-offs from other markets and then just presented as a design. I tried other companies to buy the designs, but I've encountered quite a few of them doing some Google image searches that the design is already up there, and that's when I became very frustrated and kind of hard to trust a company to come up with the designs, because a lot of these companies do outsource their own work as well. There are quite a few that, like say it's an American company that who have the American designers. I do see that most of them, just how we as entrepreneurs outsource to Asia or India or something like that, these same companies are outsourcing their designers abroad. And something I was not happy with designs I was getting, just because of the simple fact that it was just a copy from a design that was another platform. So I got very discouraged trying to find someone, in the future, hoping to outsource, find someone or maybe a company like Design Pickle, like you said, and maybe I'll try that. But I haven't really had too much luck with outsourcing.
Yeah, so when I first got started, I was doing all of the designs myself, and most of them I was doing on my computer. And then once I learned some programs on my mobile phone, I did them mostly on my mobile phone because it was faster. And oftentimes I could even make a better design on my phone than I could using Photoshop on my desktop. And I've got a big monitor and everything. Like I've got a iMac 5K, and I was able to make designs better on my iPhone than I was on my computer. So that's what I was doing. But once I got into sort of having the ability to upload more designs per day, even though it was relatively quick to make a design on my mobile phone, I wanted to get some different types of designs at a different skill level and also the volume. And so that's why I outsourced to Design Pickle. Before I did that, I looked into other design services. So I've used like Design Candy. I've done VAs. So Adam Gubella from T-Shirt Fellow. He works with Michael Estany. I'm sure you've heard of Michael before.
Yeah.
I worked with him as well, Adam, and he made lots of designs for me. And then I've also used Design Pickle, and I've made my own designs, and I've also outsourced other virtual assistants. So I've done multiple different ways of getting designs in. I've heard of a lot of people trying out Fiverr. Fiverr's convenient, right? Because you can go on and it's relatively cheap and you get a bunch of designs. But you're right, you got to watch for copycatting or repeating designs or things like that. With Fiverr, a lot of the people I find, they're just grabbing designs either from the web or they're modifying existing designs. That's how they can offer them for that price. But with Design Pickle, they're all original designs and you get licensing with them as well. So they give you a license certificate. They give you the fonts. If they're using any fonts in the design, they actually give you the font license for it. They also give you a certificate if they use images from a design platform. So for example, Design Pickle has access to Getty Images, and Getty Images has an image bank of over 80 million images. These are paid stock photography, right? Yeah. And because of the size of Getty Images, they also own some other stock image companies like iStock Photo. If you're into photography, you may be familiar with iStock Photo. Getty merged with them, so they own iStock Photo as well. So I can use any of the images from iStock Photo, any of the 80 million images from Getty Images. And so if my designer is using certain components for the design that they're making for me, they'll give me the actual license from that, and it's a full commercial resale license. So they have like lots of different licenses. There's like personal use, there's commercial use, and then there's resale. There's also there's multiple licenses within Getty Images. The one that Design Pickle uses is a full commercial resale license. So not only can they use the image, and not only can they sell the image, but they can extend permission for me to sell it on print on demand. And so for me, that gives me a lot of peace of mind knowing that any of the components that they're using are coming from there. Plus, they also give me their own license to use the designs. So I know that I'm okay and I'm not going to get kicked off for copyright or infringement or anything like that. Yeah,
that's important to have like some kind of documentation saying that you own the rights. And this is whether you're getting outsourcing, getting from your outsourcer, or you're getting it from a website where you're collecting images and vector artwork. Yeah. Now let's talk about marketing here.
Sure.
I was asking about marketing.
Okay.
How are you doing about marketing? Are you doing anything?
Okay, so because I'm on, one of the reasons that I'm on a bunch of platforms, like right now I'm on 21 different print-on-demand platforms. The primary reason that I ever got on even 2 or 3 to begin with is because when I had joined Merch by Amazon, about 2 weeks after I joined the program and had uploaded a few designs, they froze it. This was back in 2016. And when they froze it, at that point, I wasn't able to upload or edit any of the designs that were there. And yet I was still getting lots of designs made. I had made a bunch and I was starting to get other people to make them for me at that time. And so that's why I looked to other print-on-demand platforms. So because I'm on a lot of different other print-on-demand platforms, I don't tend to focus on driving a lot of external marketing to my designs. I primarily focus on organic. But while I was joining some of those platforms, I did try driving additional traffic to them. So I've done paid advertising on Facebook. I've done advertising on YouTube, like video advertising. That was actually really effective. I did some advertising through Periscope, through Twitter. And I've done like multiple platforms where I've done paid advertising. Okay. But then I've also done methods that is free advertising. So for example, on Facebook, I've got the Merch by Amazon group, and then I've got another Fulfilled by Amazon group on Facebook. But I set up individual groups for the purposes of making shirts for them. So for example, I've got a meme group that I have set up where people put in memes and they'll like put in all kinds of different funny sayings and things like that. Part of the reason I set that up is so that I could see kind of what's current in the meme world, but also because
is this a group or a page?
It's that one as a group. I've got pages as well. So I've got some pages that I set up for different holidays and stuff. Like I've got a Christmas page, and I've got some different events.
Wow, this is really good.
Yeah, but those are great because you can go onto Facebook and you can set up a page which is open to anybody, or even a group. You can have a group that's open. So there's open groups, there's closed groups, and there's secret groups, right? If you do an open one, you don't have to worry about approving anybody. Just people can come and go, but it's still a group, so you get all the group functionality. But on pages, it's also, you've got some options there as well. So I've got both groups and pages that I've set up for the purpose of driving traffic to my designs on different platforms. And so, for example, I've made designs for groups and pages that I've set up, and they've converted. So people, you know, it's not costing me anything. I don't have to drive any ads. I have the option to boost it if I want. So for example, this is kind of funny. When I was on FANPRINT, they offer licensed designs that are available for sale. So at the time I was looking at Star Wars. So I set up a Star Wars Facebook page, which was free for people to join. And then I put up like videos and stuff, different content for people that are interested in the movie Star Wars. Yeah. Or the series, I guess, the brand Star Wars. And then I used licensed designs from FANPRINT with their permission. Like they're encouraged you to do this. And you get paid commissions for selling those designs that are on the platform. So that's another option as well. That kills two birds with one stone. One, you don't have to pay anything for marketing. And number two, you get access to designs that I didn't have to pay for the designs. I didn't steal the designs. They're licensed designs, and you get paid affiliate commissions for driving traffic to them, right? So some of the pods are great for that. Like there's FANPRINT, there's SUNFROG. Some of the big pods actually have affiliate programs that people aren't aware of. So like Zazzle, you can get affiliate commissions for selling other people's designs on Zazzle, for example. And it's not that you're copying them, you're not listing them yourself or anything. You're driving traffic to somebody else's design. You're getting paid an affiliate commission for it. So multiple pods have that as well. Spreadshirt has that. Teespring has that. Zazzle has that. SUNFROG has a huge program. Like they give you 40% commission for selling stuff, and they've got access to licensed brands, right? So if you're into like Marvel Comics or Disney or Star Wars or DC Comics, you can access these big brands through multiple platforms. Yeah, on multiple ones. Yeah, SUNFROG has them. Zazzle has all of those brands. They've got other ones too. They've got like Sesame Street and all kinds of things.
Yeah, I think doing the Facebook thing is a really good idea. I have been seeing results with a Facebook page that I've set up. So in the beginning of the stream, I was talking about how I did all this bunch of St. Patrick Day designs. Yeah. And I've had here and there sell, but the ones that were actually doing really good were the ones that I actually built the fan page. So the fan page is related to an animal. Yeah. So this animal, basically, I'll put posts about, you know, funny memes, funny videos, and occasionally I'll put a T-shirt up. And once I put the St. Patrick's Day T-shirt for that niche, it, you know, I start seeing sales. So I think this is definitely a good method, and it doesn't cost you money, so you don't really have to spend, you know, you don't have a bunch of money for ads and stuff like that. And another good reason to have a group or a page is, let's say something terrible happens with your account. You get suspended, you get terminated, but you still have that group or that page where you still have those followers. So you can go to these other platforms you might be doing. Some other people might be doing really good, and you can kind of, instead of, you know, showing them your Amazon listings, you start showing them your SUNFROG or REDBUBBLE. So yeah, definitely a good idea to start a page or a group.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of the pods allow you to actually embed their platform into a page. So for people that use something like Shopify or their WordPress page or WooCommerce or BigCommerce or any of the commerce sites, even a non-commerce website, right? Like if you're a fan of a particular thing, or if you have a hobby, or if you're in a group of people that like board games or video games or anything like that, it could be photography, music, dance, whatever. You can, if you've got a website, you can embed your seller platform or the print-on-demand platform into the website. And so it's seamless. From the buyer's perspective, it's just part of your website, right? You can copy the styling and everything, so they don't even know that they're buying from another platform. They think they're buying from your website, but the order itself is going through print-on-demand. So there's multiple ways to set that up as well, which is kind of neat. But it's the same idea. You can set up a Facebook page. Yeah. So you can do that through SUNFROG. You can do it through Cafe Press allows you to do that. Spreadshirt allows you to do that. A bunch of them, like a lot of them, allow you to embed their platform onto a site.
All right. So Bill here is asking us if you heard of Spreadshop.
Spreadshop or Spreadshirt?
Maybe he means Spreadshirt.
Oh, Spreadshop. Yeah, no, Spreadshop. Yeah. So Spreadshirt owns Spreadshop. It's one within the same. So there's a couple different variations of it. You can have Spreadshop itself, which is basically allows you to set up your own shop and drive traffic to your Spreadshirt listings, which of course you embed into Spreadshop. And they have two different marketplaces. So one of them is the marketplace, which would be Spreadshirt, and then Spreadshop is a separate. It's a separate marketplace, but you can actually have your own personalized shop, and then the orders are fulfilled on the back end through Spreadshirt. Spreadshop itself also offers some services. So for example, if you wanted to get designs made, you could get Spreadshop to make the designs, and then you can list them either in your own personalized shop or on Spreadshirt. They're two different things, but they're the same company.
Okay, that sounds good.
And it's relatively new. Like I didn't hear a lot about that over the last year or so, but it was something that came up when I was going through designs. Okay,
so so there's all these platforms out there, and if you had to pick three, what would you be focusing on?
So it depends. Do you want to drive traffic to it, or do you want it just organic only?
I want to do it. Let's just do it organic. So someone that's not experienced in marketing and isn't a designer. So something that's kind of.
So just starting out and you're just getting started with it. You'd want to go with Merch by Amazon, number one. Number two, probably Redbubble, because of the ease to set it up and they get huge organic traffic. And then once you're comfortable loading things and you know how that works, go with Etsy. Etsy, the same thing that's true about Merch by Amazon and the Amazon platform where they have lots of organic traffic is also true about Etsy. So Etsy gets about 33 to 35 million customers buying on their platform. And that's tens of millions of people that have access to your designs on that platform. And they're committed to, like, they really do like the platform, those buyers. And so you can drive a lot of organic traffic through Etsy, Redbubble, and Merch by Amazon. If you're going organic. If you're going paid traffic, it would be a little different.
All right, so yeah, for organic, I definitely like Etsy. I've actually been seeing pretty good. It's been picking up. I've had 3 sales this past week. I started 2 months ago. I think I have like 45 designs up. So good idea to start with Etsy. Yep. So I definitely just have to fill up those slots. With Redbubble, definitely think it's a good idea, but the only thing I don't like, it's not that I don't like, but I sell just a bunch of stickers. So it's like 30 cents here, 40 cents, 20 cents. And it's like you see the sales coming in, and then at the end of the month or like every 15th, you get $20. You're like, oh man, like I've been selling every day, and I only get
time. So what I recommend for Redbubble is, have you tried changing your percentages?
I did bump up my royalties a little bit.
Yeah, so on Redbubble, I think I'm setting my stickers, I think I have at 80 or 100%, but there's no limit, right? So if you wanted to put them at 100% markup or 200%, as a buyer, they don't get to see what the percentage is. They just see the price for the sticker. So if they want the sticker and they like it, they'll buy it. And the difference between, like, let's say 20 or 30% markup on Redbubble and 100% markup, it's not like you're getting double the amount of money back. You're getting a lot more than that. You're getting like triple, quadruple the payouts, right? So instead of getting 25 cents or $1, you're going to be getting like $4 or $5. So you can make money on the stickers. The other thing you can do is when you're listing your listings, they don't recommend that you put what the item type is on the title of your listing. The reason for that is on the platform, they internally know what the object is and they're trying to market to those things. But outside of the platform, it's a bit of a different story. If somebody types into Google and they're looking for a funny cat t-shirt, right, then it might come up for a Redbubble sticker, right? Okay. It'll come up for the sticker because your store is accumulating sticker sales, and so it's going to start promoting your stickers. But if you put funny cat t-shirt on your listings, even though it might be a sticker, so it might be a funny cat t-shirt sticker, external to the site on search engines like Yahoo and Bing and Google, they're just indexing the words, right? They're not sorting it by item type. And so you'll start to actually get traffic on the things you're titling for. So for me, I put the word t-shirt beside the title, even though that will show up in other items. So I might have like a clock and it'll actually say t-shirt in the title. And the reason I do that is for organic traffic. Again, Redbubble cross lists many of their listings onto Google Shopping by default. They recently increased their Google Shopping capacity from 25 million SKUs to 50 million SKUs. So they have capacity to list 50 million items on Google Shopping, which is a big deal because that's going to get you organic traffic, right? When people are searching for things, you know, it comes up with the picture at the top and has T-shirts and other things in Google Shopping.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It draws a lot of organic traffic.
All right, so let's talk about if you're a marketer.
Okay.
So you're an amazing marketer, you're outsourcing your designs, where would you go?
All right, so if you're driving traffic to designs, it depends if they're your designs or if they're somebody else's, but if you're marketing, it doesn't really matter too much because the commissions are so similar. So if I was marketing designs, you could go with Merch by Amazon, but if you're marketing it, it's probably still not the best. You'd probably want to go with Teespring, with SUNFROG, and then your own Shopify store. And for 3 different reasons. So Teespring has super fast shipping. They've got regular shipping, rush shipping, and super rush shipping. Their super rush shipping is really, really fast for delivery times. So if you're marketing traffic, you're kind of cashing in on that instant, you know, I see it, I want it, I buy it, I want it, right? So they're really fast at shipping. They will make a shirt and ship it out and have it delivered if it's on the super rush shipping faster than Amazon Prime 2-day shipping. Even if it's free 2-day shipping, it's about how much time it takes. Because with Merch by Amazon, you might have 1 or 2 days shipping, but that starts from the point at which it leaves Amazon. It still takes them time to make it, and sometimes they'll get it done fast. Like they have the ability to make it in, I think their target is like 45 minutes would be ideal. But at the moment, I've ordered things and I've tracked how much time it takes to get shipped, and I shipped them into my New York address.
Okay.
I've shipped them out to Colorado as well, and I shipped one to California just to test the shipping times for Merch by Amazon. And sometimes they're taking 2 or 3 days to make the shirt, and then they ship it, and the shipping starts from when it leaves Merch by Amazon, right? So even if you have 1 day shipping, you might not get the thing for 2 or 3 days. Whereas Teespring, if you get a super rush shirt, you can actually physically have the shirt in like 2 or 3 days, as opposed to 3 or 4 days on some other services. That's one reason for Teespring. Another reason for Teespring is they have their boosted network. So if you've got designs on items that qualify for the boosted network and you've qualified for it, then they will cross-list your designs to Amazon.com. So you still get that Amazon listing automatically. And then they also cross-list them to other platforms. They'll cross-list them to Jet.com, which is a big competitor to Amazon, and then also Walmart.com. I think the #2 e-retailer in the US right now, I believe. If not, they're certainly in the top 5. So Walmart.com obviously is huge. And then they also have other partner services that are partnered on the Teespring Boosted Network. So that's why Teespring. Now for SUNFROG, if I was doing paid marketing, it's a slightly different reason. They pay 40% commissions. So 40% of the sale price is what you get back. So for example, on a $20 t-shirt, you're going to get $8 commission, right? That's higher than you would get on something like Merch by Amazon. On $20, you're getting $5.38, right? And then the third one was Shopify. So with Shopify, you own all the client information, but you also get other data on analytics and stuff. And you can get that data on SUNFROG and Teespring as well. The Teespring gives you customer email addresses. But with Shopify, because you're fulfilling the order or you're connecting your Shopify to a print-on-demand service, you're capturing all of the information. So you're getting your name, the email address, the shipping address, you know, what they bought, when they bought it, what information they came in on. You capture all that information. So if you're marketing, you can leverage that analytics information to drive even more marketing to your Shopify store. Now, if you're doing high volume, you might want to also consider Represent or Spreadshirt. If you're doing orders in high volume, so you're selling lots and lots of shirts, it's probably for more advanced marketing, which is different from maybe beginning marketing. For advanced marketing, Spreadshirt pays up to 60% commission. So that's very, very high.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, have you been outsourcing your marketing at all?
I haven't done paid outsourcing of my marketing. I've used automated marketing. So I use artificial intelligence to do some of my marketing for me. Okay. So in that sense, I'm not typing in the copy. I'm not selecting the pictures. I'm not doing the pricing. I'm not picking the target audience. I let a computer do it for me.
So are you using like a specific software or platform?
Yeah, so when I was doing that, again, I focus on mostly organic right now, but when I was doing marketing and I wanted to outsource it, so if I didn't want to do the listing myself, or if I was doing it on a platform that I myself wasn't really proficient on, I was using the software. I was using Kit CRM, and I talked about that in the very first version of my book, which came out over a year ago. So with Kit CRM, Kit will actually go to the platform. The computer itself is licensed as a manager for that platform, so they actually have gone through the certification as a computer.
Okay.
And then it will take your instructions. So you say, okay, I've got a budget. I want $20. I want you to market this design or this group of designs. And you just have to tell it what designs you want. You don't have to tell it which versions or the pictures or the sizes. And you have to say, like, let's say you would just say the niche. I want to market to people who like appliances, for example. I don't know why you would do that. But let's say if somebody wants a washer and dryer. So you say, I market to people with appliances. It will go out to the platform that you're looking at, like Instagram, for example, and it'll locate people that are interested in appliances based on however magically it does that. And then it will drive ads for whatever you tell it to those audiences for you. And not only does it drive the ads, but it will pick the images right from your store. Like I have it connected to Shopify, so it'll go into my Shopify store for me. I don't load the images. I just tell it which ones. It goes and finds the images. It finds the price. It builds the audience, it makes the advertisements, and it'll make really complex advertisements. Like on Facebook, it was doing carousel ads. You know, we have like 10 different listings, like 10 different shirts, and people could spin through them and pick any of them, and they would all be driving traffic back to my store. And it's fully automated. It takes like 10 seconds to make an ad, right? Like I couldn't even type out the thing as fast as it creates the ad, it pulls the image, it does the pricing, it finds the audience, it targets the audience, sets the budget, it does the timelines, it does everything for you. It's fully automated.
So you can you repeat what this program is called or website? What is it?
Yeah, sure. So Kit CRM, KIT, like the car in Knight Rider, Kit.
Okay.
I think that's how they got the name from. I talk about it in my book. Like there's a whole section about it. But yeah, so Kit CRM and Shopify bought Kit, the company. But so you can get it integrated right now for free if you already have Shopify. You just connect the Kit app and then drive traffic.
You can use this outside of Shopify as well, or is it mostly just for Shopify?
I haven't used it outside of Shopify because I have it connected as a Shopify app. But so I'm not sure if you can or can't. But I just use it for my Shopify store. Okay.
Well, I have here a question from Alvaro, and he said he got banned from Etsy.
Okay.
10 years ago. Yeah, so he's trying to get back in. So if you have any tips. Now, I've had a few people reach out to me about the same issue, getting kicked out of Etsy. And why do you think people are getting kicked out of Etsy? Or it still happens on Amazon as well. Why do you think people are getting kicked out of some of these platforms?
Probably the number one reason that somebody would typically get kicked out of a platform is that they violated the terms of service. Now, whether they did it intentionally or unintentionally is irrelevant. The fact that they got kicked off tells me they violated the terms of service. So that could be for a number of reasons. So for example, on Merch by Amazon, if you're loading designs repeatedly that have trademark violations or copyrights, or you're not following the other rules of terms of service, so you're putting up like swearing or bad language or trying to take advantage of a tragedy, for example, those things can get you kicked off and suspended from the platform or terminated from the platform. But all of the platforms have that, right? So Redbubble has that, Etsy has that, Teespring has that, Zazzle, SUNFROG. They all have terms of service, and you have to make sure that anything you deal with the platform is within the terms of service. For Merch by Amazon, the biggest thing is probably trademarks, but they can kick you off for anything that's a violation of the terms of service. You'd be very careful.
I've heard of people getting kicked out of a platform and being let back in. Let's say getting terminated and then eventually coming back in, whether it's on Merch or Etsy or Redbubble. Have you ever heard of any situation where they got terminated and got back in?
So with Merch by Amazon, I've heard of 4 people that I know of that have been suspended from the platform but not terminated. Okay. And then I have heard of people getting terminated, and I've not heard of them getting back on the Merch by Amazon. So a termination and suspension are quite different.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that it's impossible because I don't know. I don't know what the criteria is. Like, I'm not Merch by Amazon. I can't tell you that.
Yeah,
but with Redbubble, with Redbubble and Etsy, I've heard of people getting kicked off the platforms. And most of the time, from the people that I've talked with, most of them have just decided to go to other platforms. They haven't tried to get back in.
Okay.
Some people send emails to find out why they get kicked off. So some people have success with that, some people don't. But I've never heard of anybody getting back onto a platform they've been kicked off of before, primarily because they go to another platform and they don't really spend the time to get back in.
Yeah, I've heard a few people trying to get back in on Etsy, and Etsy not really giving them any time. Now, Alvaro says he got kicked out due to selling not handmade items. Now, I think Etsy also has its own rules, its own ecosystem, let's say, and how things work there, right? You don't, like, I've heard of people copying something that's on Etsy and then putting it on Etsy, and then that same seller finding out that their slogan or their words were changed and then put up on their shop, so they get also reported for copying. So I think with Etsy, you have to kind of try to be more original. And
can you back up from your mic a little bit? Because it's when it's close like that, it clips, and so you can't really hear it. If you back up, it's really clear. You have like a really high-end mic, so.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, just back up a bit. It sounds the best.
So what was I saying? Yeah, I just think you should also treat Etsy a little bit differently for what you're uploading. I think people definitely want to see that handmade thing. And I know, as let's say we work with outsourcing and all that stuff, I don't know how that handmade aspect comes in, because even with some of the descriptions I read on Etsy is when you upload a mock-up, they don't want you to just put a mock-up that was generated by a computer. They want you to use a real picture.
Yeah, but so with Etsy, the terms of service have changed for Etsy over time, and they'll probably continue to change. But about a year ago, so halfway through 2017, they made a rule change on the source of the goods. So the thing that Etsy is going to have a big problem with, if you take orders and drop ship them, they really are very much against that. It's like anti-Etsy. Don't do that, right? But up until, so if you went on Etsy 2 years ago and tried to connect it through a print-on-demand platform, they had very specific rules that you had to follow on there, and it was very difficult to do that. There were still some print-on-demand platforms that you could do it through and some ways that you could do it. So for example, 2 years ago, you could use ShipStation, and then ShipStation you could connect to a print-on-demand platform, and you can still do that now. But because of the rule change, now you can connect directly to the print-on-demand platforms. So the popular one that a lot of people I hear talking about is Printful. So you can connect Printful to Etsy. I've used that before. I've got Printful connected to my Etsy store now, and I've got listings up. But you can also connect other platforms, right? So you can do Printora will connect to it. ShipStation will connect to Etsy. Printful will connect to Etsy. There's T-Launch, I believe, connects to Etsy as well. So there's a number of different back-end print-on-demand platforms that you can connect to them. Some of them are connected through an Etsy app on the Etsy app platform. So those ones are probably my favorites. Like Printful is an example of that. There's an Etsy app and it connects that way. It's very automated. Some of them are through, it's through a different channel on Etsy. I forget, I don't know how to describe it, but you basically put in an application to Etsy and you explain what the platform is and how they'll be connected. And it's different from the Printful connection, but you can connect it to other print-on-demand platforms as well. So there's multiple ways to connect to Etsy, and the rules themselves on Etsy have changed over time. So now it's okay to do a print-on-demand. With regards to the pictures and the images, because the rules have been changing over time, be sure to read through what the rules are at the time that you're looking at listing and make sure that you keep current with them, because they do change over time.
And this is with all the other companies, correct? Like Merch, REDBUBBLE. Things will always be changing. Don't get surprised that something changes. And you just kind of have to deal with it and roll with it. So have you heard any, like, Merch by Amazon news? Is there any, have you heard anything interesting coming up? I know you posted a kind of hinting that to look at, I think it was a picture, maybe they're going to come up with phones. I definitely went into a page. It's that scientist guy, and he does have his Merch by Amazon apparel there, his page, and he also has some phones. So I was also thinking maybe phones will be coming up.
Yeah, so if you go with some of the brand partners that Merch by Amazon is connected to, like Neil deGrasse Jr. is who I think you're talking about. Neil deGrasse has different things on his Merch by Amazon marketplace. So he's got shirts, he's got the hoodies, he's got all the things that we have as sellers, but he also has things like pop sockets and cell phone cases, and there's some other items that have come out. So those items, if you look across the branded Merch by Amazon pages, they all have access to them. And Merch by Amazon often uses Woot shirts, which is part of Woot.com, which is owned by Amazon, to make the items. So if you go into Woot.shirt, you can see the items that they have the capacity to make in the same factory that they're making Merch by Amazon shirts on. So you can kind of see what they have the capacity to do. And then if you go to the big brands, like you go to Disney, and go to Marvel, and go to Neil deGrasse. Neil deGrasse is one of the first ones where he had really big presence before some of the other big brands came on. You can see the items that they have. That just tells you that Merch by Amazon has the capacity now to do those things, right?
Yeah.
So when or if they decide to roll those out, I can't discuss, but I can tell you they're made in the same factory and they're part of Merch by Amazon, and other sellers under brands have access to them now. And I can't tell you beyond that, unfortunately. I'm just not allowed to say. I can't say.
It makes sense that eventually they'll come up just like the hoodies and the sweaters. I'm sure.
I think it's inevitable. I think it's safe for me to say that Merch by Amazon will see some major changes this year for sellers.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit obvious, like some of the sale. If you look at the way that your sales go, where most of the time you're having consistent sales, you might have a spike and then you might have a drop in the dead zone. Through January and February, if you look at your own sales and you talk to other people, look at their sales, the pattern of sales has changed from what it was like 6 months ago. It's different now already, right? If you look at the sign-in, Merch by Amazon had its own separate sign-in. They've now changed the sign-in. So if you look at the actual screen that you sign into, it's now using the same screen as Seller Central.
Oh, I didn't notice this.
Yeah, if you just check the screen out of how it's set up and like look at the URL is different now. The setup, the layout of the actual screen is different now as well. So those are things that you can observe that have nothing to do with me, revealing anything that might happen in the future. But I can tell you that I think Merch by Amazon will see some fairly significant changes probably this year. I can't really go out beyond that.
Yeah, and I hope they'll be expanding internationally as well, as most of these other companies do ship outside of the US.
I can tell you that they were selling in the UK. So if you go on to certain websites that you can go on to look at how much traffic is going to a certain domain, I was looking through incoming and outgoing traffic from Merch by Amazon. So merch.amazon.com, where the traffic was coming in and where it was going out. And I noticed that one of the incoming and outgoing traffic sources was merch-eu.amazon.com. And that's publicly available. So it's not like I'm sharing something that you can't locate outside of hearing this from me. So Merch by Amazon has been selling in the UK, and they've got significant traffic going through that domain. So not only are they actually doing it, but you can actually see how much traffic has gone to it. So at the time that I looked, I think it was like 60,000 people a month were going into and out of merch-eu.amazon.com, which is Merch Europe, right?
Yeah. Awesome.
Now, when or if or ever will they launch that in Europe is part of the future, which I can't talk about.
Because another thing I saw is that the new change in the terms is you have to abide by not just the USA rules, but in a way international rules. So they are kind of expressing that in their terms of service as well.
Yeah, they have made updates to the terms of service. They've also updated the .csv download. Now, this happened a few months ago, but originally they just had the price. It was just the price, and then they added a currency column, right? So they had the price and then the currency. Why would you have a currency column if you were only selling in one country, which only has one currency, right? Yeah. So there is some little hints that it's something that might happen.
Yeah, they're kind of working into it. The thing is just they're either going to release it or just wait for it or just keep it for their big brands maybe.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So trademarks in the US are handled by the USPTO, right? The US Patent Trademark Office. But trademarks in other countries are not handled by the USPTO. It's separate, right? So Canada, we've got our own patent office, trademarks office, right? The UK is going to have their own trademarks and patents offices. Germany, other countries are going to have their own trademark and patent offices. And the things that are registered by country, right? There's a governing body. So if you take a step back on trademark and you go to the WIPO, I think it's the World International Patent Office. They kind of work with individual countries on patents and trademarks issues, but they themselves are not a licensing body, so you can't register directly with a place other than the national country that you're registering with, right? You, like, for example, you and I, we would register with the USPTO because we want to list on Merch by Amazon if we wanted to register, like, for the brand registry, for example, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But we could also register in Canada at the Canadian Patent Office or the Trademark Office. And if we did register in Canada but not in the US, if somebody searched on the USPTO, they're not going to see our trademark unless they're using a service that also gathers information from multiple trademark offices, and those exist as well, right? So it'll be interesting to see if, so hypothetically speaking, if Merch by Amazon went into other countries, I'd be very curious to see how they deal with trademarks and other IP. It'll be very different, I would imagine, right?
All right, so let's just answer a few questions that are here in the chat, and then we can talk about the book, because
Sure.
That's also a question they want to know.
Okay.
Let's see. So have you tried the eBay and Printful integration?
eBay and Printful?
Yes.
So I have sold on eBay, and I do use Printful. I don't believe there's a direct integration from Printful to eBay, but you can go, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can go from Printful to ShipStation to eBay. You could also go from Printful to Shopify to Amazon to Joe Lister to eBay. That's a kind of a long one, and it actually works, but it's very extended.
Okay.
But there are multiple print-on-demand platforms that you can integrate into eBay. Both eBay.com and just like Amazon has international marketplaces like Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, .mx, .co, UK, Japan, everyone else. eBay has the same thing, right? So eBay has ebay.ca. It's a different marketplace than ebay.com. And you can access multiple eBay marketplaces from not only from Printful, but from multiple print-on-demand platforms. And some of those connections are a little bit more complex, and I actually outline them in the book, which we can talk about later. But yeah, so I'm not currently, I don't have Printful connected to eBay myself at the moment, but it can be connected, and there's multiple different ways you can connect it.
Okay. I did sell as well on eBay, but I did use Printful, but no integration there. But I don't know, I wasn't, the whole timing thing, because Printful does take time to print and ship out, and the eBay customer wants their tracking information in a couple of days, right? So I kind of stopped doing the eBay just because of that. I had a few customers complain about when is it shipping out? When is it getting here? So I was like, let's just not deal with this right now today.
Yeah, and I should say there's multiple ways to do that. So you could do an actual integration where it's fully automated. You don't have to actually fulfill any of the orders. They just automatically fulfilled as fast as they are, or as fast as they can be. But you could also do it manually, right? So if you wanted to use Printful and take the order from eBay and fulfill it with Printful, you can do that anywhere. But you could do manual fulfillment through Printful from any platform in the world, right? If you wanted to put a sign in your front yard and people come up and put in an order on a piece of paper, you could manually fulfill it through Printful and send it to them, right?
Or go on Facebook as well. I think they also have something going on where you can actually purchase on Facebook. So then you can just pretty much go to Printful and then ship the product out with them.
Yeah, you could do the Facebook marketplace, so you can sell things directly on a Facebook shop or a Facebook listing as well. So there's more than one ways to sell directly from Facebook. You can have the shop embedded into Facebook where people buy on Facebook and it gets delivered through a print-on-demand service, or you could drive traffic from Facebook to a location. If you do it within Facebook, there's a little bit less steps for the buyer side of it, but it's a little bit more complex to set it up. And once it's set up, it's really effective. So for example, on Shopify, you could connect Printful to Shopify and then have a Shopify marketplace inside of Facebook. And your shop it's like a Facebook shop, right? And so people buy it on Facebook. The order information goes into Shopify, which then pushes it through to whatever pod you have set up. So in that case, it's Printful. But you can set up multiple pods if you want. You could have more than one at the same time. So you could use, say, Print Aura and Printful simultaneously at the same time and list those orders on multiple marketplaces. So there's 3 different parts to that, right? You've got the marketplace, which could be eBay, could be Etsy, could be Amazon, it could be Walmart, it could be wherever. And then you have the e-commerce platform, which is kind of directing traffic, right? And then you have the print-on-demand platform that's doing the fulfillment. So that's a more complex setup. I talk about it in the book as well, but you can do that multiple different ways.
All right, let's talk about your book. If you want to talk about your book, I'm going to take this call for 1 second.
Sure. Yeah. So I don't have access to the chat, so I could just see Daniel. But the book that I've written is called Merch in the World of Print on Demand. It came out over a year ago originally, back in 2017 in March. And it goes through Merch by Amazon, everything from getting started in terms of how you would get started on the platform, what you would do, programs that you can use, all kind of marketing. It goes through multiple print-on-demand platforms. But it goes beyond just Merch by Amazon. It covers more than 35 different print-on-demand platforms. And I actually pushed an update to the book last night. So the current version of the book, Merch in the World of Print on Demand, now covers more than 50 different platforms. It's got way more integrations now. So it shows you how to integrate onto like Walmart, onto like international Amazon. So if you want to sell on Amazon in the UK and have that pod fulfilled, you can. Same thing with eBay, with Jet.com, with multiple marketplaces around the world and in different countries, different languages. It covers like language translation on listings for print on demand. It covers shipping locations, right? So if you're interested in selling things on Europe, you don't necessarily want to connect that to a print on demand that only has US printing locations because it'll take a lot of time for it to mail from the US to Europe. But you want to have like a European print on demand facility so that the orders themselves are close to wherever your buyers are. The same thing with Australia. Australia is, it takes longer to ship to Australia. So if you want to have orders from Australia, you want to be using Australian located print-on-demand services, right? So the book covers multiple platforms themselves. It covers software that you'd use, and depending on how you want to use your software, it covers software on your desktop, on your mobile phone, on your tablet. There's web-based software, so you don't need any devices. You can just access the web from wherever. It covers marketing, so it goes quite a bit in depth on Facebook marketing, like multiple ways that you can market from Facebook, with Instagram, with YouTube marketing, with Pinterest. It goes into like multiple ways and tools that you can use on Pinterest to set up marketing there, both paid and free. So on all of the marketing section, there's one chapter on it. It's chapter 5, and each of the platforms that it covers, it goes through both paid solutions, which can often save you some time, but they cost money, and also free solutions, so you don't have to take any money, but sometimes they take a little bit longer. It also covers automation, so how to automate different things for your print-on-demand business. Outsourcing, more than one way to outsource and more than one thing that you can outsource. So you can literally outsource like 100% of your business. Everything from, you can outsource keywording, you can outsource the design, you can outsource the uploading, you can outsource managing the whole system. There's multiple ways and both services and ways to outsource to cover all of those sections of your business. It covers things like alternative ways to make money from print on demand beyond just making designs and uploading them. So it shows you how you can make money from existing designs, right? So things that we talked about on the call even today, things like SUNFROG, they've got a 40% affiliate commission. So think of this. Let's say you had an audience for whatever. Let's say you really liked coloring, like adult coloring. There's a big trend, right? So if you're into adult coloring, and you know a lot of people that are into adult coloring, you can literally type in adult coloring or whatever they're interested in, whatever your group is interested in, into a print-on-demand platform that exists with already having designs, and then pick up, based on what you like or you think your audience would like, pick the designs that you want to showcase, put them in front of that audience, and when they buy those designs, you make giant commissions, like 30, 40, 50, 60% commissions. And you didn't make any designs. You didn't have to upload anything. There's no tiers, right? It's unlimited. It's worldwide. You can ship them anywhere in the world, right? So if you have a huge audience of people that are really like anywhere in the world that are into any kind of topic, you can have designs that are already made by top designers and put those designs in front of those people and make a commission when they sell, right? So that's all in the book. I mean, I tried to cover everything to do with merch in the world of print on demand. So I should say the book right now is 365 pages. So it's not like a 20-page book. It's not like a little thing with some links to like services that you can do. It does have links to services, but it has like actual steps. Like you can say, okay, I want to do, let's say, Printful to Etsy. You just go to the Printful Etsy section and you just follow the steps. There's however many steps there are. It's like 14 steps, right? So you go to step 1, you do that. Step 2, you do that. Step 3, you do that. And when you get to the end, it's fully set up and it's tested, and you can just start loading designs, right? Or if you wanted to do, let's say, print order to Etsy, or if you wanted to do Printful to Shopify, that's also outlined in the book. If you want to sell on Walmart.com, I have like the steps to get you on the Walmart marketplace in the book, right? So it has the steps on how to do things as well as where to do things. It kind of covers as much as I could put into a book. There's some stuff I can't put in the book, like some of the stuff that we were talking about, the future of things. I'm not allowed to put them in the book, but I do talk about the future of things in the book as well. There's like a future section. So for example, I'll give you an example. There's multiple print on demand marketplace uploaders, which you may or may not have heard about. And then there's other ones which you probably definitely have not heard about. And the ones you've not heard about, I put in the book with like details, you know, the name of it, like how you connect to it, what it does, what platforms it goes onto, volumes, right? Like I've worked with people that are selling 20,000 shirts in a week, or uploading 20,000 shirts in a week using a multiple print on demand bulk uploader. I put that information in the book. So I don't really go into the details on that stuff on the calls, but it is in the book and you can read about exactly what it is and how to get it, right?
Can you put the link in the comments area? And obviously I'll get the link later and put it in the description area. So if anybody sees the replay, they can
yeah, do you want me to put a link to the book?
Yeah, so for the people that are actually here live,
I could put a link
asking for the link. So you can go check it out. How much is the book?
So it's $57. Which works out to like, if it makes you 11 sales on Merch by Amazon, that'll pay for the cost of the book. But it's $57 for the book. And it's one time. So you pay for it once. And every time there's an update, like I said, I did an update last night. So now it's 365 pages.
So is this your third update, I believe, or?
It's the 5th, number 5.
Oh, the 5th.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you already paid it once in the future, so the people that already purchased this book, let's say version 2 or 1, they automatically get this one?
Yeah, they get it for free. It automatically loads into your Gumroad account, so it's already, if you've already purchased it in the past, then you own the book now already, the newest version.
Awesome. So yeah, this sounds great. Definitely want to check out this book, and we'll put that link down below, and I'm sure it's going to be very interesting, and it just sounds like there's just so much knowledge in that book. So that's
it took about a year and a half to write the book. Even the last update,
I remember the first version was what, 2 years ago, a year and a half?
So the most recent update was from the middle of last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so YouTube's not allowing me to put the link in, but I just messaged it to you. Because it's your YouTube channel, you can put it in?
Yeah, let's try it out. Where are we?
Sorry, I just I had the live YouTube version closed, so it wasn't.
All right, so I just put down the link below, and then later I will definitely put it in the description area.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob, thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Daniel. I think we should definitely get together because I know you're around in the Toronto area, roughly, and I'm close to Ottawa.
Toronto. I was actually thinking of going to Ottawa last month, but something came up, and maybe I can go, I don't know, this summer, check it out. Or definitely, if you're ever in town, just hit me up, and would love to chat with you. Or we could also do this live YouTube thing again if we get a few questions that
definitely
get answered.
I always lose track of time when we're talking, but I think we've been on the call already for more than an hour, right?
Yeah. And also I have to do a few things, but I do appreciate your time, And thank you for coming, and I'll definitely be talking to you soon.
No problem. I really appreciate being on. I'm happy to come on anytime you want. And if you want to connect afterwards or in person, just let me know, and I'd be happy to meet up with you as well. I know your channel is pretty awesome too. You should probably, if anybody's seeing this for the first time, because I know we put this up on our Facebook group, right? So some people might be seeing this for the first time. You should let people know about your channel, about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you like what you see and you're interested in making money online, definitely subscribe. And I'll definitely try to get more guests here. I'm definitely new to this whole YouTube live thing, and hopefully it's all working good. Now we have the link. It's not working right now, but we'll definitely fix it. Just come back to the replay. I'll make sure the link is good and you're ready to roll if you want to get this book. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to UGR. I'm going to put the link to Jacob's group if you're interested in print on demand. You're the one that pretty much instantly helps someone that's out there. I see someone ask a question and you're right there. This, boom, boom. You don't fool around. So definitely a valuable group to be in.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so we'll put the name of the group. It's Merch by Amazon, Top Sellers for Newbies and Pros. When you type it into Facebook, if you're doing a Facebook search, you can just type in Top Sellers and you'll get two groups come up. One of them is an FBA group, which is all about Fulfilled by Amazon, and one of them is the Merch by Amazon group. So the Merch by Amazon one is all about print on demand and Merch by Amazon.
All right, thank you, Jacob.
All right, take care. Thanks for having me on.
Next time.
Yeah, take care.
Peace.